trained upon, and I will provide my advice to the Title X commander that Oregon National Guard men and women they serve two purposes: one, to defend America, and two, to protect Oregonians. And so by serving in this mission, they will be protecting any protesters at the ICE facility. They're trained upon, and
Shalom, Yasha'Allah. First and foremost, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chodash, and double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful Lektakim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, and I'm going to get right into it because, as you can see, of the top ranking official that is in charge of every single the top ranking officer that is in charge of every living soul in the state of Oregon National Guard is saying outright that he will be directly contrary with troops on the ground against what this current administration, DJT, is doing. And that is the definition of these men not regarding their king. Sedition among men. Sedition is simply, inciting an opposite role through the intimidation of force. And I actually went to go get the definition. Lord willing, I'll be getting into it before this lesson ends. But I did want to make this quick, news announcement that if you can't see prophecy popping off the pages and you think this is a game and something that's going to take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Oh, you got time to see your kids grow old. Oh, you got time to grow old and have a happy life with a happy wife and a front view of the street in your cul-de-sac, getting old and sitting on your porch, man. It's not happening like that, man. Babylon the Great is coming towards reality that they are a blip in the matrix, because they are contrary to what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has made in every way, spreading confusion and wickedness through our people. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is having his own hands turned against him, Egyptian versus Egyptian. And I wanted to make this quick once again to emphasize the point that prophecy is happening, whether people believe it or not. And I wanted to get the definition of sedition real quick, or the saying more specifically, so you have some context to some of the scriptures that I'm going to read. But the saying, the Old English saying, no regard or not regard a king, means to, this is AI by the way, not regard a king means to have no respect or consideration for a monarch, their authority, or their position. The phrase can be interpreted in several ways depending on the context. Salakia, from expressing simple disregard to outright rebellion. So again, this is what is coming down the line. Sedition, rebellion. No nation can stand when you have so many people that are disagreeing amongst each other. There is not a unison type of mind. There is not a culture of Babylon. America is a mixing pot of all different nations. Again, adding to the confusion, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has given all nations their lands, as well as, anyways, where scriptures say wherever an Israelite places his foot, that's his land. But the point being that, the amount of confusion of mixed cultures and trying to keep everybody happy in their own beliefs just adds to what is so contrary and emphasizes what's so wrong with this country. And what the point that I'm trying to make is that Donald Trump represents a red government, representing a Republican, so-called. And you have these blue states that are representing a Democrat, which is 50%, about split. The country is either Republican or Democrat, whatever it is. They're one or the other. So you have two major oppositions in these states, especially like Oregon, California, New York, Illinois, Chicago, not the state, but Illinois, uh, which Chicago has troops, as well as Memphis, as well as Portland, and these are all federal troops being, activated, as well as local National Guards, which is why this video is so telling, because I'm going to get straight to the scriptures now, before I ramble too much, because I do not want to make this long. That this is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible. This is 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, because this is a warning to the Israelites. The words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So you have prophets that are going to be out there telling you what prophecy is, which is things that are going to happen in the future, according to the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We are the mouthpiece and doing the dirty work that you people don't want to put your face out on the street. You don't want to give yourself a bad news all day by looking at what's going on in the world, because if you look around what's going on in the world, that's why you only see bad news, is because this world is circling the drain, aka the Edomite supremacy and its grip on the world. This is verse 2. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. And the faithful and true, you can see. I'll have to say this, man. I'm saying this as a man, but you don't really even have to have that much faith in the Bible to see what the Bible is saying is happening. Again, you don't have to have some metaphysical belief. Literally, what is written in the scriptures is happening right in front of you. So Jake's even having the faith of a mustard seed to think that the scriptures could be right, and they actually read them, or they come across the prophets, boom, that mustard seed is going to explode, because everything that's happening in the scriptures and the way that the prophets are describing it is a warning to what's actually going to be happening in reality. So again, because these words are faithful and true, the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai do not go out void. Verse 3, fear not the that's all I wanted to say about that. I wanted to get straight into the point. This is 2nd Ezra 15:16. For there shall be sedition among men. Sedition, we'll go into that definition right after this. Among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings. We went into that saying already. Nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So you're going to see a lot more civil war type activities happening because of the disagreements that this place has. But you know what they can agree on? Keeping Jake in a stupid state and not telling them who they are, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which make up and consist of the 12 tribes of Israel, from Judah all the way down to Issachar. This message is for you. So if you know about this truth, you know about the truth in the scriptures as correctly taught by a Hebrew Israelite, you have to understand that that is the way. And that while everybody else is bugging out, we are going to have the scriptures, which is the comforter, which is the Chachodash, and the understanding of the peace of mind and the perfect love that we have for this truth, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, in appreciation for what he did for us on the cross, to be able to find in our soul the endurance to get through Jacob's trouble. And that's the only thing that's going to get us through, is that hope that we are going to be able to, ultimately be protected, and Lord willing, have the strength of whatever Yahweh Bashem Yahushai puts us through, because it's going to get bad, Jake. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to get bad. I'm talking, every single horror movie, Walking Dead, all in one, man. It's going to get medieval in this bitch, man. People are going to go crazy. And it's going to start with, an organized rebellion, in the sense that you're going to have major groups of people against one another. You're going to have Esau versus Esau, Jacob versus Jacob, Esau versus Jacob, Jacob versus Esau. All these heathen nations, jumping in between, the hatred that Esau has for Jake, and capitalizing on their hatred as well. So again, I wanted to get that word sedition. And the word sedition in the definition, the Oxford definition, is the conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. And that is almost what he said, in the sense of him telling his troops that they will defend the ICE protesters, which are obviously against what the federal government is doing, in the sense of the yellow man, out there snatching families apart. So I'm gonna play this video one more time, and I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, that this lesson was edifying.
Trained upon, and I will provide my advice to the Title 10 commander that Oregon National Guard men and women they serve two purposes: one, to defend America, and two, to protect Oregonians. And so by serving in this mission, they will be protecting any protesters at the ICE facility. They're trained
What are they going to
upon.
be doing? Standing in between the other troops that they are in the same uniform in, and going to be having protesters behind them, patting them on the back? No, man. So again, understand that this is just another psyop to show you that it's going to be a controlled demolition. You're going to have the demonization of anybody that goes contrary to what this beast system and New World Order's next step is. And this is what you're going to see as the result of it, is Esau's own going against him. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chachadash, and double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.